subheading for word problems, because you probably have word problems somewhere there. Our little subheading, the one that goes under it, is called multiple steps. And if you had to take a shot in the proverbial dark as to what is meant by the words multiple steps, you would say what, Kelsey Edwards? Something is multiple steps, it's probably what?
Many steps.
Yes, it's going to take more than just one thing to do to get to the answer. Okay, which means it's all the more important and critical, I suppose, that you do what? What do you suppose I'm going to tell you that when you find a problem that looks like what you're going to do today, you need to do? Nobody yet? Jacob Kunzdorf probably could help me out with this since we had a small discussion about it not too very long ago. What did I tell you should do with the problem that you had problems with? Yeah, and after before that, actually, yeah. You definitely want to draw some pictures. The old saying that a picture is worth 1,000 words will come in very handy on this. Being able to see these things is so much easier than being just trying to figure out the words. Most of us are more visual than we are audio. I bet if I asked your parents, how much you listen to them, they'd probably say very little.
Yeah.
But if
I'm a
you,
good angel.
yes, you are. Write down this problem. Sam is 5 years older than Bob. Sam is 5 years older than Bob. Bob is 3 years older than Sally. Bob is 3 years older than Sally. Let's see what they say here. Sally is 15 years old. Sally is 15, comma. How old is Sam? Question mark. Okay, again, and I'm going to be honest with you right now. Without sketching this out, I really couldn't tell you how they all relate or whatever, because it was, it told us 3 different things. You got a bunch of different numbers. You got 5s and 3s and 15s. It's not till you organize your thoughts by kind of drawing this out that you really kind of get how easy the problem is. Because you probably know you're going to be adding and subtracting 5s and 3s or using 15s or something like that. But, without looking at it a little closer, they probably don't know what. So here we go. We know that start at the beginning. Sam is 5 years older than Bob. So when we're doing this, who's older? Sam. So Sam gets to be taller by 5. He's 5 years older than Bob. So there's Mr. Sam. Here's Bob. And if you like, it's probably a good idea to do this. What's the difference in their ages? 5 years. If you take Bob's age and add 5 years to it, that's how old Sam is. So there's this little chunk of whatever there that, that Bob's not yet. Then it says, Bob is 3 years older than Sally. So is Sally going to be shorter than Bob or bigger than Bob? If Bob's older than her, Michael, Sally's going to be 3 years shorter. So here's Sally. She's younger than all of them. By how much? This is 3 years right here. Okay. Now I've got a little picture here. It's starting to kind of come to light to me here. We know that Sally, or as it says there, Sati, whatever she is there. We know that Sally is 15. Well, if we know that Sally is 15, we add 3 more years onto her age. That's how old Bob is, which makes him 18, and we know that Bob, if you take 5 years and add it on to his age, you get Sam's age. Sam must be 23. So you can answer any question they ask you. They asked you how old Sam was, so you know that Sam is 23. Okay, and again, just throwing down a little sketch of how they're related just makes it that much easier for you to do. And you really want to do that, give yourself the best chance there. Let's do another one. Tim earns $16 for every hour he works. Tim earns $16 every hour. If he works more than 8 hours, if he works more than 8 hours, he earns $24 an hour. $24 for every hour. How much would he make if he worked 10 hours? How much would he make working 10 hours? Okay. If I were to sketch that out, what do you suppose, what would be a logical or a good way to do that? Maybe again, drawing a rectangle is about as easy as it gets here, right? If this rectangle stands for how long he worked, okay, we have to separate the rectangle into two different parts because he gets paid differently for different parts, right? For 8 hours, he earns $16 an hour, and then for anything over 8 hours, he earns $24 an hour, right? So if this little rectangle stands for how many hours he worked, which is how many? 10 hours, so we split this into 10 parts. Let's try it like this. What are we going to get? 5 out of each of these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For the first 8 hours here, for these first 8, he earns how much? 16 for every one, right? So he earns $16 in each one of these. Then, because he's working what they call overtime, he's going to earn how much for the next two? Those next two, he makes $24 an hour. What do you suppose a quick way to find how much he earns altogether is? Do I need to add 16 8 times, or I can, Christine, just multiply 16 times 8? He makes $108 for this part right here. What about 2 24s? How much is that? Anybody? How about $48? So how much does he earn altogether? Everybody got the 108 plus 48 in their head? Smith?
176.
Well, you're close. You got your little middle number mixed up there. 108 plus 48 is not 76, not 176, but 100.
86?
How about 56?
Oh.
108 plus 48, you get your 16, boom, your $156. And again, and I'm sure some of you can do it without kind of drawing that out there, but certainly the drawing thing at least helps you kind of make a little more heads